Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of The Hard Choice. My name is Brad Draper. I am your host, and I am so grateful you are here. If you are watching this episode, you'll see my new mala necklace. I love it. My wife gave it to me as a gift. I was out of town this last weekend at an event in Beverly Hills supporting a friend. And when I got home, she surprised me with this necklace. It's super gorgeous. It's amethyst. What is this thing? Amethyst, aquamarine, and obsidian. So cool. We'll see how it goes, right? Bring those people in your corner that back you wholly and fully. And this is what I mean. I want to move forward with my brand, with speaking, with helping influence others. And what does my wife do? She goes out and gets a very thoughtful gift of a necklace because I'm very into beads. For those that don't know, for the last year or two, I've been very into spiritual journeys and beads and vibrations and frequencies. If you've ever listened to the show, you've heard me talk about the vibrations of things and the frequencies and the energies of things. Get people in your corner that not only believe in you, but help you thrive, that help you move the needle. And before we get started, I wanted to throw it back. A couple episodes, I talked about how I had deleted a bunch of music from my phone. Just wiped all of it. I wiped clean pretty much everything. And I've since started being picky, choosy about what I add back. I had the original thought that I can just start deleting one by one, and figured that would take too long. How can we collapse time and get to where I want to be? Playing only resourceful things through my music, things that raise my vibration, raise my frequency. So I could delete one at a time and slowly whittle my way down. Or I can delete everything and then add back those things that I find resourceful. Will I miss a few things? Of course. And that's okay. The end result is the same. Having music that I enjoy, because I love music, but music that raises my frequency. Where in your life can you collapse time? Where can you, instead of take one song at a time, just delete everything and then add back those things that you want? I had a conversation about this experience. And this conversation went a little something like this. I deleted my music, and it was freaking hard. If you've ever deleted something like that, you would know what I mean. It was actually harder than I expected. So much so that I actually was brought to tears while I was deleting this music, and I was somewhat taken off guard. I didn't understand why this was so hard to press delete. After all, I could just go search it again and put it back on. Why was this so difficult? And then it dawned on me. I was divorcing my old self, my old identity. You must understand that for most of my life, I was the kid that had headphones in one ear at all times. I walked around with my anti-skip CD player because my old one would skip whenever I'd walk. I had to hold it like a little platter that was so fragile, otherwise it would skip. Then I got an anti-skip from Sony Walkman. It was gold colored. And I was able to walk and hold that, and I got a new one. It was also gold, and I was able to put it in my pocket, and it'd only skip every few steps versus every step. So I can play music pretty much all the time. Music got me through so many difficult times and resourceful times. It was always a companion that I had, and I thrived in the genre of the metal. And that was an identity of mine. I chose and made a decision to identify as somebody that listened to that kind of music. And I prided myself in that for a very long time, most of my life, over 25 years. I remember listening to Metallica in the early 90s because my brother listened to them. I remember listening to all these different rock bands. Then as I got older, it got a little bit heavier. But when I deleted that music, I divorced who I was in order to give birth to who I'm becoming. Where in your life can you divorce your old identity in who you're becoming. My values changed. You see, I wanted to change my habits, but in order to change your habits, you've got to change your beliefs. And in order to change your beliefs, you got to change your values. And in order to change your values, you have to change your identity. And it was at that root core. I was changing who I was at a fundamental level. That's why it was so hard. It had nothing to do with deleting my music, and it had everything to do with becoming someone new and divorcing who I was. It's a decision. You must understand, this is a decision you make each and every day to continue down the path you're going or to change course. And that is all based off your goals, your standards to achieve those goals. What are you doing to get there? I was an executive, worked at a lab for 12 years, and I left that facility, I left that career path because I knew that path would not get me to my goals. Instead of changing the goals, I changed the path. So often, you weaken because you have this goal and realize the path you're on is not going to get you there. It's like, it's not in the cards for me. The path I'm on won't get me there, so you change the goal. Well, it's about time you change the path and you keep the goal. It's a decision that you make. So this weekend, like I said, I was out of town. I was in California. I was in Beverly Hills, supporting my friend, great friend, for his book launch. I had the opportunity to go there. And upon meeting him, which, by the way, we only met about 4 weeks ago, and he invited me to this book event in Beverly Hills. And I said, oh man, I think I can make it. I better check with my wife to make sure she doesn't have something planned that I didn't know about. Go figure, I knew we had something. I just didn't know what it was. What we had was my son's birthday party. Yeah, his 4-year birthday party already set. All the invitations were out. The cake was ordered. Everything was ready to go. And I went to her and I said, I need to go to Beverly Hills on August 19th. She says, okay, let's go. We'll change our son's birthday to the 12th. We'll celebrate on the 12th. And because of that, quite a few of his friends couldn't come. But he still had a great time. We still had the cake. We still had some of our family, not everybody. And he still got presents and had a blast. He's 4. So often we let something like that make a roadblock. But I made a decision. I need to support my friends. And I need to network and expand my brand. This is a way to do it. It's a decision. While I was at this event, I was speaking to a woman. She was married to a man that's in the group. He's in the mental reprogramming space. He's in the mental development space, the personal development space. And she's new to this space. She's just starting. And she came with her husband to this event and spoke out in front of the group saying, I was really apprehensive on coming. I almost didn't come because I was so nervous. But now that I'm here, I'm glad I came. And I spoke to her after the event and I said, when did you decide to be nervous about coming to this event? Because it was a decision. She felt that, so she decided that. And she said, it was when the idea was brought up to come. And I didn't know if I'd be accepted. I didn't know if I was worthy enough. I didn't know if people would like me, or if I can network, or if I could talk to these strangers that are worth much more than me. I don't know if I can do that. But she got the gumption and she went. She made a decision. But she still didn't really know. And while she was there, she spoke and she felt great. People congratulated her being there. People promoted her and helped move forth the needle of her life, whether it be her mind or her business or whatever it is that she does, supporting her husband in his business. Said, when did you decide that you were accepted and worthy? And she said it was when everybody congratulated her, aka an external validation, which is fine. We all need external validation in some form or fashion, at least at the beginning. Most people don't receive that internal validation and can just move forward internally, intrinsically, and naturally. Most people do not have that gift, but need external at first. And that's perfectly fine. But in this case, she made the decision that she was capable of receiving this gift of people's friendship and network and love. Where in your life do you need to make a decision to change? I'm going to run that back for you. When in your life, or where in your life, do you need to make the decision to change? You need change in your life. In some capacity, you should be changing each and every day, a new iteration of you. The saddest thing you could ever tell somebody is when they ask you, how are things going? And you say, same old, same old. Same job, same car, same clothes, same relationships, same financial status, or worse, downsliding. You should be changing forward, moving forward. There were some people that had some learnings. They called them failures. And I asked them, when did you decide it was a failure? When did you decide it was bad? It was actually the term bad. When did you decide it was bad? They said, well, this and that happened. It's terrible. I said, well, did you become a better person because of it? Did you become stronger? Did you gain a skill? Did you gain a relationship? Did you gain something from it? They said, well, yeah. And in the end, I will. Then when did you decide it was bad? Because you placed the decision to make it unresourceful. You could consequently make it resourceful. And there was a woman that was there talking about a career path that she had done for the last 20 years. And she said, hesitantly, I do such and such, but I don't really tell people that. And I asked her, when did you decide to not tell people that? And she says, well, it's not part of my purpose. I do podcasting. I do these other things. I don't really do that anymore as a person, as an identity, but I still do it. I said, have you ever tried to change the focal lens, change the focus on what you're looking at this thing at? Because you don't have to have your financial input be your purpose, but it could fuel your purpose. I know plenty of people that their financial stream is not their purpose, but it fuels their purpose. I have a friend that flips homes. He doesn't necessarily like flipping homes, but he's very good at it. So he flips homes, and in turn, he takes that money and he funds his orphanage, his purpose. Where in your life can your job fund your purpose, your income stream fund your purpose? It doesn't have to be the same thing. But I asked her, have you ever considered the fact that you're blessing people's life by doing what you're doing in these capacities? I'll keep the details vague to remain her anonymous. And she said, I've never thought that way before. I've never considered that I was blessing people by doing this job on the side. I just felt it wasn't my purpose. Therefore, I shouldn't really tell people I'm doing it. It was a decision. And then in a single conversation, the decision changed. She changed her focus and made a new decision. And now she has new energy of life. Where can you add energy of life? By making a decision, changing your focus, changing the lens. I'm here to tell you that time is now, and you have a decision to make. Make the decision and move forward, because action precedes action, and where you focus, you find. These are statements of truth. Embrace them and move forward. I thank you for being here. I thank you for spending your precious time, these 7 minutes or so at 2x speed, or 15 minutes or so. Your precious time was spent with me to move forward, and because of that, you will move forward. It has nothing to do with me, let's be clear. It has everything to do with you and your intentions. Place your intention correctly, make the decision and move, and you will find positive movement. I love you. I am grateful for you. Continue this conversation with your friends and your family. Leave me a review, Apple, Spotify. I am now on Amazon, Amazon reached out last week and said, hey, you're not on our platform. Please come to our platform. You can find me on Amazon and Audible. You can share me however you please. I hope you do. That's the only way this show grows, is organically by you. So thank you to those people that have shared it. Leave me a review, download it, like it, subscribe it for future listenings. You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, all the different social media platforms at Mr. Brad Draper. Until next week, I love you guys. Bye.